Good afternoon. Today is January 15th. We're going to call to order the Oklahoma City Metropolitan Area Public Schools Trust meeting. The first item on the agenda is to approve the minutes of the November 20th, 2012 Oklahoma City Metropolitan Area Public Schools Trust meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved, Madam Chairman.
Second.
Been moved and second. We'll vote. Motion passes. Next item on the agenda is the Suburban School District application for funding. Item A is to approve application of funding for Crooked Oak Public School District cafeteria construction for Crooked Oak Elementary, $1,631,611.68 plus accrued interest. Mr. Todd.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. This is, as you said, a application by Crooked Oak Public Schools as part of the Suburban School Funding Program through the Maps for Kids. It's for $1,631,611.68. It's for a cafeteria of approximately 14,300 square feet, and it meets all the requirements.
Are there any questions? If not, I entertain a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
We'll vote. Motion passes. Next item on the agenda is financial reports. Item A is to approve the Oklahoma City Metropolitan Area Public Schools Trust Revenue Obligation Report for October 2012. Mr. Todd.
Madam Chairman, this is a financial reports, as you stated, in the usual form that you're used to seeing. I can answer any questions if you have any.
Are there any questions?
No.
Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve item 4A.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
We'll vote. Motion passes. Item 4B is to ratify Oklahoma City Metropolitan Area Public Schools Trust payments. Mr. Todd.
Again, this is in the form you've seen many times. It is all the payments that the trust has made, and I can answer any questions.
Are there any questions?
I did have one about this. The financial reports we just approved, they're not reflective of this proposed amendment. That balance will change a great deal because of this amendment, correct? And the funds available?
Yes.
With that, I'll make the motion to accept.
Is there a second?
Second.
We'll vote. Motion passed. Thank you, Mr. Todd. The next item on the agenda is item 5 to approve amended program implementation plan for January 2013. I believe we have a presentation.
Yes, Madam Chairman. As part of the MAPS program, we have ADG as our consultant, and they help us considerably with the program implementation plan. And I'd like to invite Mike Mize up here to discuss the revision on the PIP.
Thanks, David. Madam Vice Chairman, board members, and Manager Clowers. Glad to be here. It has been some time since the PIP has been updated, and we wanted to bring this to you, show you, and provide you with a summary of the updates. The actual documentation, which you will receive or maybe have already received, is a fairly thick package, which will go into your binders. But I just wanted to do an update and a summary of what those changes include this time around. The last update we did was in September of 2011. This update contains 40 changes. Many of those changes, not many, 5 of those changes are fairly generic. They include changes to the table of contents, to page numbering, and include an addition to the addendum, which describes each one of the changes in just a brief summary form. We've included updates to 34 schools. 21 of those updates reflect changes from the budgeted amount that was originally in the PIP to now reflect actual construction contract prices and change orders that may have taken place since the contract was in place up to date, so that those numbers are now much more current and reflect the actual costs that we anticipate for each one of those projects. 12 of those schools have actually been closed out, and those final closeouts are now reflected in the implementation plan as well. And then there's a couple of other miscellaneous modifications, which include things like the additional parking at Class and SAS. The addendum, which I mentioned before, this is just a portion of it, but if you go to the entire document, you'll see that there is a section at the very end of the addendum which is labeled changes for January 2013, and details all of those changes for each of those schools. There's also a copy of the a budget as it's been revised to reflect any changes in terms of actual contracts. And there's also a revised summary page. If you look at the very bottom of this page, you'll see that for Hillcrest Elementary School, this represents a closeout, so that the final closeout's been accomplished, and this is the actual final summary of the finances for Hillcrest Elementary School. And I brought those just as examples. The entire document has similar documentation for each one of the changes in the schools. Yes, sir.
So the document has each school up or down, whether we went over our budget or under our budget?
Correct.
All documented?
Yes.
Where is this document?
I'm sorry?
Where is this PIP? It's just in your office? Or is it everywhere, or who has it? I'm sure City has. You all have a copy? It's online. Is it online? Okay. So we can have access
It was,
whenever you...
I didn't receive it.
I didn't never... So we can go in? See, I'm not done.
Yeah, I believe there's a link to it that you have to...
Can you get that? You want to get that? Okay.
Would the members of the trust like a hard copy of it?
Well, I don't know if I need a hard copy. I kind of like to be able to plug in to look at it. It'd be very interesting information. Or the link at some point. I haven't used it.
We'll make sure that you get that link sent to you, and if anybody wants a hard copy, we'll be glad to provide that.
I move the table approval till the next meeting. Would that cause any problem?
I don't think so. No, that won't even change the date on the cover sheet.
Seeing there's a little bit of unreadiness and that we have not had a chance to actually view the document, I think there's been a little confusion. I'm hearing the trust is requesting that we table it until the next meeting.
Would you also like to delay the presentation?
No, I think so.
I mean, my presentation's done.
Yeah, I thought he was
Oh,
done.
yeah. I think it'd be an interesting document to study. Yeah. Okay.
Any other questions for Mike?
Thank you.
Very much. It's my understanding that the actual vote on this item would need to be deferred to February 5th, so that we'll make sure that the trust has an opportunity to have time to review it at that time, or before the February 5th meeting date. Thank you.
Very good.
Next item on the agenda is item 6. We have several change orders. Change orders A through P. I believe we can either approve them all together, or if there's some that you would like to take out and approve separately, we can do that. What is the pleasure of the trust?
Have no problem reviewing together.
Okay. Seeing that, item 6, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Madam Chairman.
We'll vote. Motion passes. Are you abstaining, Anthony? There you go. Motion
That was
passes.
the last one.
Okay.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda, item 7, is to recommend the City Council adopt a resolution approving a testing services proposal from Terracon Consultants, Inc. to establish prices for engineering and testing services for REMI testing services for John W. Rex Elementary School. This is project ES0035. Mr. Todd.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chairman. Maps for Kids uses the Public Works or the city contract for testing, and occasionally there are tests that we need that aren't included on that contract. So this is a resolution approving one of those tests that isn't on the contract that we use. It's for a special seismic test used for structural analysis, and it's for the downtown elementary. We ask your approval.
Are there any questions? I'll entertain a motion, please.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second? It's been moved and second. We'll vote. Motion passes. Next item on the agenda, item 8, is to approve the expenditure of funds for the purchase of furniture, fixtures, and equipment for Rockwood Elementary School, not to exceed $160,000. This is project ES0064. Mr. Todd.
Madam Vice Chairman, this is another request for expenditures for the furniture for Rockwood Elementary. As you said, it's very much as we've seen time and time again as the schools reach completion and we furnish the new parts of the school. So we ask your approval on this.
Are there any questions?
Is this extra money or additional money, David?
It was included in the original PIP.
Okay.
But that's right. There is $50,000 additional beyond the original PIP because of some repurposed rooms,
Okay.
which we've done before.
Okay. Okay, 50,000. All right. I'll make the motion.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second?
Let's vote. Motion passes. Item 9, final acceptances. We have 3. Item A is to accept Oak Ridge Elementary School project and place the maintenance bond into effect. That's project ES0053. Mr. Todd.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chairman. We like bringing you final acceptance items, and the first one is for Oak Ridge Elementary, which is an elementary school that accommodates 248 students. It was completed at a final cost of $3,406,224. Would you like me to do all 3 of them, Madam Vice Chairman?
That would be great.
Okay. The second one is an early start fire alarm system that was done on several of the schools. You can see the locations there. I believe there's 7 schools. And the third one is also an early start fire alarm group, and there was 4 schools there, and these 3 projects have all been declared final.
Any questions from the trust? Not, I'll entertain a motion, please.
So moved.
Is there a second? We'll vote. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Mr. Clowes.
Yes, Madam Vice Chairman, members of the trust. The General Manager's report for this meeting. There are still 24 schools in construction. However, construction is nearing completion on 5. Those are Capitol High School, Classen SAS, Northwest Classen High School, and then Cleveland and Rancho Village Elementary Schools. There remains 1 school in design. That's the downtown elementary school. Final plans are nearing completion, and we anticipate receiving bids in early March on that project. Again, the administration building is still on hold. I-89 2007 bond projects, we have several going on. Construction continues on Coolidge, Van Buren, Hayes, Wheeler, West Nichols Hills, and Monroe. The gym construction at Nichols Hills Elementary is still on hold. Final plan phase for classrooms and gyms are complete. Sure.
On the Nichols Hills, is that back building that was under some controversy?
Yes, we think we're very close.
Okay.
And David could probably give some more information. We think we're very close. We've identified a site that seems compatible with the school grounds in the neighborhood.
We're going to move to
Said
what?
West Nichols Hills, I thought it was Nichols Hill.
It's Nichols Hills. If I said West Nichols Hills,
It was
I was
the
in
Nichols
error.
Hills
Yeah,
Elementary.
Nichols Hills Elementary.
We're going to move the existing building, or we're starting over?
No, all we're looking at is moving the gymnasium, the proposed gymnasium that's part of the 2007 bond projects.
Right.
We've
And-
met with PTA and with the staff and the neighbors and a lot of people, and we've got an alternate
Wasn't
site for that.
dirt work done already, or
There was a building pad that had
building
been
pads?
constructed.
That's all we had.
Yeah.
So we just, okay. Thank you.
Final plans are complete for classrooms and gyms at Parmalee, Hillcrest, and Pierce, and we anticipate receiving bids on those next week. Final plans nearing completion on Adams, Bodine, Horseman, and Kaiser. And final plans nearing completion for Mark Twain, Putnam Heights, Southern Hills, Stanwatie, Buchanan, Gatewood, Johnson, and Oak Ridge Elementary Schools and classroom additions. Preliminary reports for Heronville, Fillmore, Prairie Queen, Rockwood, and Eugene Fields are underway and are due next month. And we're still in the final plan stage for the stadiums at Taft and Spiegel. And as you recall, we finally accepted 3 projects on today's agenda: the Oak Ridge School and then the 2 early start fire alarm projects, which included 11 schools. That concludes my report.
Any questions, Mr. Clowers? I did have a question. I didn't hear you say, or I may have not heard you say Northeast High School. Where are we on Northeast Academy?
I did not mention Northeast High School.
I didn't know if it's
Do you have
pretty close to completion or not. I saw 90% complete, but I'm not quite certain.
We're about 90% on that.
This summer?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Item 11, program update. Anything else, Mike? Nope. Okay. Comments from the trustees? Any additional comments? Yes, sir.
Yes, has there been any discussion as to gym at Chavez?
Yes, sir. We are working on that with the school district right now and hope to put something together with them and bring that to you.
I'm sorry?
I hope that we can put something together with the school district and bring that to you in the near future, but we are discussing that.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments from trustees? Yes, sir.
I was very interested in the article that was, it was actually a letter, I guess, to the editor from the offensive coordinator at U.S. Grant High School. And he was proposing a new way of competition for certain city schools, Capitol Hill, Southeastern U.S. Grant in particular, who would kind of form their own league outside of the common OSAA bounds. And it occurred to me that that might cause some differences in what we design into the stadiums. I would think that that could mean there may be a need for more dressing rooms. Because if, for example, Capitol Hill is playing U.S. Grant and Southeast is playing Santa Fe South, that's all their same stadium. And they may need a new, it's kind of like the Staples Center in Los Angeles has several home dressing rooms. And I just think that's something that might need to be considered going forward.
Good point. Any other comments from trustees? Comments from staff? Citizens? If not, we're adjourned. Thank you very much.